show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Drown out my problems, let me fall up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my.
Two veteran quarterbacks looking for a return to the playoffs. It's The Coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, two teams who stayed home for the playoffs last year start 2019 with high hopes. We'll see Matt Ryan of the Atlanta Falcons taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back at halftime with a look at games in progress. But first, we get up to Minneapolis. Standing by our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. So happy to be with you, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, and we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
Dan Bailey now to put the ball in the air, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. The Falcons set to take over, and it's Matt Ryan at quarterback in his 12th season now. Better than 4,900 yards, third best in the league, but the Falcons did not have things go their way last year, finishing 7-9, a full 6 games out of first place. A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game 1 of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow, take care of the football. I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
Throwing on second down, Ryan. Jones has it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. And now he's really knocking on the door for career catch 699. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Sheds off the tackle. The 20. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, 41 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Vikings under 6-year head coach Mike Zimmer. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, but it'll be 2nd down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason, and we know it helps for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw coming in, they've been here for a while, ready to go. You and I should have joined the tailgates, that's for sure. They're going to give them plenty of encouragement. They'll try and ride that wave and get their first victory of the year.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
Let's go, defense.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. That's caught by Treadwell. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Well, these two teams, the Falcons and the Vikings, have met 30 times since the Falcons' inaugural year in the league back in 1966. The Vikings winning 19 of those games, but maybe the most memorable game between the two was a Falcons victory. That was in the NFC Championship game back in January of '99. Gary Anderson missed a field goal to potentially win it at the end of regulation, and then the Falcons would get the victory in OT 30-27, and they were off to the Super Bowl. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Takk McKinley made his way into the backfield.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Now Cousins, and Diggs has it. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's 2nd down. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Many people thought Keanu Neal was overdrafted by Atlanta, but they saw his talents and knew that he would fit their scheme perfectly. A hybrid player, can play deep in the secondary as a safety, can drop down into the box and also make a lot of tackles, and at times can stay on the field and serve a linebacker role as well.
On 2nd down, Cook. Adrian Claiborne, the one who makes the stop.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
I can't believe they even let you play.
On third down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches.
So on fourth down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Ready, we're ready. 25.
Now Ryan down around the goal line. Looking downfield for Jones. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 95 yards. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, we've seen these two, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, connect quite a few times over the years. It never gets old.
It never gets old. Well, maybe for the defense it does, but not for us who are watching it. And Julio, every time he steps on the field, you can just about mark him down for 100 yards. That's about his career average per game. But think about this. Getting in the end zone has always been a struggle for him. He gets the big yardage, but he doesn't get the touchdowns. Not this time. No matter how many people were kicked in coverage, he found a way to beat it.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On play action, Cousins. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Desmond Trufant with a sack. The corner blitz hits home. Nothing the score. Well, on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. They're facing a tough spot. 3rd and 8 here to start things out. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the pressure gets to him again.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time it's a set. Come on,
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him. They haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing. Because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. On 2nd down, it's Freeman. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll have another 1st down and more. And down to the 27-yard line. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, 1st down Falcons.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And incomplete. Was picked. Instead, 2nd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this 1st half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He's got Sanu. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Mohamed Sanu is a guy that is often overlooked because he just quietly goes about his business. But how about last season? Had a career-high 838 yards on 66 catches, and he can also play wildcat quarterback for you as well.
Down, get ready, get ready. 54. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. Ready to go.
They'll run here with Freeman. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and goal, Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Falcons push further out in front. Now he's having a nice little 1st half here, partner.
And it's a 1st half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And it's now 21-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. First half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Cousins throw complete to Thielen and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins, and that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the... Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown. Much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the group.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Falcons. Austin Hooper, 62 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The lefty Tavecchio now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. The Vikings going to signal for their as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5.
Single. I got single in the slot.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We begin up in Charlotte, where the defending NFC champs pay a visit to Carolina. And it's the Rams who are out in front in that one. Todd Gurley has a touchdown run. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they lead the visiting Baltimore Ravens at halftime. Albert Wilson, a touchdown catch in that first half. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Redskins. Deshaun Jackson, a touchdown reception. In our game, it was the former MVP, Matt Ryan, with a strong first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw, there's Cousins. He finds Taylor, complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go play action. Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack coming from Adrian Claiborne off the edge.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
3rd and long for Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here's Matt Wild now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the 2nd half now. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Ryan. Looking deep for Julio. It got his man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 36 yards on the play. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play.
Back 25. Now watch run.
On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan, he'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan connecting on his 4th touchdown pass of the ball game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins. Pitch and catch here to Rudolph. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And Rudolph has it left side. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game, because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Throwing is Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. This complete to Jones. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Let's go, tight end, let's go right here now.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Xavier Rhodes sprints in on the corner blitz for the sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense.
And he's going to go down again.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy. Protect you.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
54. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
The Falcons will go for it. It's Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game. Incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Cousins now. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Blue 80. 54 Mike.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Mike 54. Hey, come on out here.
On second down, Freeman. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On third down, Ryan. And it's incomplete. We're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Atlanta, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.